dead inside. Da, 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 da. Yes. Hi, everybody. This is CineBRUH seeking a frostbite at the end of the world. You see what I did there? I'm changing it to be what the movie is.
That was good.
It's like the Simpsons couch gag that I'm gonna do, except it's gonna be funny every time, no matter what.
I laughed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is CineBRUH. I am Matt. This right here beside me is.
I'm Ohm.
That is true. His name is Ohm.
Yeah. Well, what more was there?
I don't know. So, hey Ohm, the future sure is looking bright, don't you think?
100%. Yeah.
Yep, I can't wait for all these good movies coming out in theaters. Oh wait. Oh no. They're pulling movies out of theaters. I had to watch SCOOB at my own house instead of with a 35mm projection. Okay.
Well, you want to talk about some upcoming movies that are definitely coming out in theaters?
You betcha I do.
Okay, okay. I'll go first, because screw you, buddy. I'm a special person.
You sure are special. I can give you that.
Yep. There's this Russell Crowe movie coming out called Unhinged.
Les Mis 2?
No, Unhinged.
Oh, I saw like a thumbnail for the trailer for that, but I didn't watch it because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have high opinions of Russell Crowe in general.
He's a talented actor. End of sentence.
Yes.
But yeah, I did see the trailer for Unhinged, and it looks so bad. I kind of want to see it, but it looks horrible.
Oh.
So do you know what the movie's about?
No, I told you I didn't see the trailer, so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Russell Crowe is he's sad or something, and he's holding up traffic, and this woman gets pissed off and honks at him. So in an act of road rage, he just keeps following her and trying to get her to apologize, and she's just being a piece of crap and doesn't apologize, and she's just being confrontational. So he basically just starts killing people trying to get to her. Oh my god, it looks horrible.
Hilarious.
It looks so awesome. And so bad. I can't wait.
Kind of reminds me of like a Guns Akimbo kind of thing.
Oh god, yeah, maybe. Also, I was excited to see Capone. I've heard it's not that good though. It mostly mixed. Honestly, there's one roast that I thought was pretty good. So basically the thing is, it's instead of just your natural gangster movie, it's instead Capone when he's senile and he's struggling with dementia and shit like that. And there are scenes in the movie where he basically shits himself and the bed numerous times. And one review I saw was this guy basically saying Tom Hardy in this movie, Tom Hardy shits the bed, and ironically so did the director. So
well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was kind of a sick.
I'm glad we're spending this time talking about movies we're looking forward to by talking about bad movies that we aren't looking forward to.
Here's one that I like. This is actually. I'll start talking about ones that I'm actually hyped for. Yeah, Scarface.
Did they already make that movie? Like
yes,
in 1907?
This is the third version of it, actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hollywood is running out of ideas.
Honestly, I don't really care I don't really care that I'm not gonna about this one because it's written by the Coen brothers and directed by Luca Guadagnino, which I'm very excited for.
Writers of Suburbicon are making another movie?
No. That's wrong people. It's the guys who wrote Intolerable Cruelty and The Lady Killers.
Oh. Yeah. I was wondering when they would come back and make a Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah. They're also I'm also. Oh wait, no, it's your turn. My bad.
Okay, my turn. So there was a movie that was going to be made a long time ago, made by Genndy Tartakovsky, the animator of Samurai Jack and Dexter's Lab, Symbiotic Titan, and recently the miniseries Primal. And He's directed the Hotel Transylvania movies because he was forced to, pretty much.
Oh, he directed those?
Yeah, he directed them, but he was kind of like
Oh,
forced by
wow.
Adam Sandler, and they wrote all the bad jokes, and he had to animate them.
Oh, wow, okay.
Except for the third one, where he got more creative control, you know? So back then, he was like, hey, if I do these movies, can I direct a Popeye movie? And they were like, yeah, sure,
No.
you can totally do
They're
that.
actually... He's making a Popeye movie?
Yes, an animated Popeye movie in the style of Clyde with the Chance Meatballs, kinda.
Oh, yeah, I saw trailers for that, like, years ago. I thought it was a joke.
And it looks amazing, because the animation is amazing. But
Yeah, but it's been, like, it's basically been in limbo.
yeah, they basically canceled it along with Lauren Faust's Medusa movie, which would have been great too.
Yeah.
But they're bringing it back. So Genny
That
Tarkovsky, he's going to be directing the Popeye movie. He also has 2 adult animated movies that he's making for Sony.
Are you sure they're actually going to be adult?
Yes, I can tell by the plot descriptions.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you about them after you tell me about another movie you're excited for.
Okay. This is one that it's not necessarily excitement, but it is definitely like cautious optimism. Barbie. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this actually sounds great
I am very intrigued by what this movie could possibly be.
because it's directed by Greta Gerwig. She's co-writing. I believe it's co-written by her and Noah Baumbach.
The writer of Madagascar 3.
Madagascar 3. Yep. And it stars Margot Robbie as Barbie. I'm sorry, I can't. They better not screw this up because that actually sounds great.
I feel like it could go one of 2 ways. They could
It could.
They could either go a very satirical route, like it's like, oh, we're making this and we're gonna make this the best thing they could be, or it could be just like whatever, make a movie. I'll have my husband, help me write it, just because we don't really care.
Gerwig, I think she is naturally funny. So the thing is, she's not just incredibly funny. I think she is clever. So I feel like she's probably going to go more down the satirical approach. I just hope it doesn't get bogged down by being like overly woke to the point where it just gets obnoxious. Like I'm trying to think of an example, but I don't know the name just whatever. But you get what I'm saying, right? Where it's like
they do that a lot in movies where
it's more just a message rather than a movie.
It's like, hey, girls can do whatever boys can do, and that's true, but then you say that a billion times in a billion different shows and movies without
it's not even a movie, it's just them beating the audience with that.
It's like, hey, can I play baseball? No, you're a girl.
You play softball.
It's like the same thing, except I mean it's the same thing except you throw like a helicopter. It's like like that.
Okay. Alright. What next for you?
I mean, Spyverse 2.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. Last Night in Soho. I'm really excited for.
That is my most anticipated. Well, okay, it's my second most anticipated for next year.
Yeah. Too bad.
Because you know how much I love Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Oh, it got delayed till 2021.
Delayed indefinitely. I know, it really stinks.
Honestly, this is the thing. There's a reason why they kept putting, they did the whole VOD thing. And it's not like these movies aren't making money. Like, Trolls World Tour made a crap load of money. It's still really successful despite not having a theatrical release. So, unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Same thing with New Mutants this isn't the thing I'm saying, but like New Mutants, I'm honestly not even surprised. It's been delayed like 3 times already, so I've just gotten used to it. Yeah. But they have said it is coming out in August theatrically, which is kind of funny to me that they think that. But okay. Okay, so another one.
Let's each do one more.
Okay, yeah. Geez, there's so many, like Avatar 2 and whatever, but this is the one I want to talk about. Minor Modifications.
I heard
I
that
don't
one.
know who's
What's that one?
I don't know who's directing it, but it's written by Shia LaBeouf, and it's a sort of biopic on Kevin Abstract.
Oh, is that the one where he won the screenwriter competition for it, and then everyone got upset because he's already made a really successful movie?
Yeah, people got pissed off because the thing is, it's like, hey, it can't be a. They were basically just saying, hey, it can't be a famous person, when in reality it was, no, it can't be a known screenwriter. And he wasn't really a screenwriter at that point when he won, I don't think, at least.
I thought it was after Honey Boy that you won it.
Maybe. I don't really know, but I will admit that it is kind of dumb that he won. But I'm interested just because I don't know much about Kevin Abstract, but he is kind of the frontman behind Brockhampton, and I really like their stuff, so I'm interested.
That's cool.
And also, I just love Shia LaBeouf, so.
Yep. That actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf you got.
Yep.
So, for me, my last choice for movies I'm excited for is Free Guy. Starring Ryan Reynolds. He's in a video game.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It's the French Dispatch.
Okay, because I was like, honestly, Free Guy kind of looks like I'm not gonna lie. I think it looks really bad.
I think it's a funny idea, but everything in the trailer makes it look bad, and why would you do that for a good movie? I hope they just showed
the worst. I really hope they showed the worst in the trailer and saved the best. Actually, you know what? Never mind. That's actually a smart idea. They wouldn't do that.
I thought it was a funny idea, but the thing is, it's
a great idea. I agree.
They could have called it Free Will, and it would have been much, much better. That's a much better title.
That is a much better title. Yeah.
Why would you call it Free Guy when you could call it Free Will when it's about a character earning free will as in like being an NPC to like a real guy?
But then, but then it's also just like it's a play on words. What the hell?
I mean, could have made that up.
So is Free Guy, but at the same time, Free Will just sounds so much better. So yeah, French Dispatch. I'm excited just because, well, obvious reasons.
Yep, Wes Anderson, Timothée Chalamet.
First of all, it's pronounced Timothée Chalamet. And second of all, I was going to say just because Edward Norton's in it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. The thing
is, Tony Ravioli's in it? Nice. Oh my god. Okay, can we... I know we always talk... Yes. I know, like, that this is the big thing about Wes Anderson. His casts are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think he's outdone himself with this one, so... Bill Murray, Benicio del Toro, Frances McDormand, Jeffrey Wright, Adrian Brody, Tilda, my favorite actress, Owen Wilson, Timothée, Lea Seydoux, Matthew Amalric, Liev Schreiber, Elizabeth Moss, Edward Norton, Willem Dafoe, Saoirse, Christoph Waltz, Jason Schwartzman, Henry Winkler. Like, what is this? Kate Winslet? They got Alex Walther. Oh my, this is so good.
If this is not a good movie, then Wes Anderson has some explaining to do.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I know that a cast doesn't automatically make a movie good or bad, because there are bad movies out there with like fantastic cast. Like what was it, like The Last Wedding or something like that with De Niro, Diane Keaton, and like a crap load of really good actors. It was complete crap. But Wes Anderson, at the very least, I feel like this movie will be entertaining.
Yep.
At the very, very, very least.
Yep.
Because that's like honestly, I think that would probably be like, that's the worst I can say about his movies. I think they're all great. Out of the ones I've seen.
Two, and not even two full ones.
What do you mean? Oh, you've only seen two? Well, yeah. Not even?
Yeah, because I've seen Isle of Dogs, which was pretty good, and I watched 90% of Fantastic Mr. Fox, but then the plane landed and they ended the movie early because I watched
Yeah, I
10
gotcha.
Cloverfield Lane and then Fantastic Mr. Fox.
To be honest, I do really like 10 Cloverfield Lane, but Fantastic Mr. Fox is just a movie I've grown up with. It's like the entryway to all the weird stuff that I like for me, so I will always have Fantastic Mr. Fox to thank.
So Wes is to blame.
Yes. So, my favorite, I've seen his four latest movies. So my tie for favorite, or no, not tie. I would say my favorite of those four is Fantastic Mr. Fox, hands down. It only slightly beats out Grand Budapest Hotel, just because like how significant Fantastic Mr. Fox has been for me growing up. Um, Grand Budapest Hotel is absolutely hilarious. I loved every second of it. Then third would be Isle of Dogs, which I love, and then Moonrise Kingdom, which I didn't like at first all that much, but I really warmed up to it on a second viewing.
The Isle of Dogs. I heard a rumor
What?
that we watched 30 Rock, and now it's time for...
Here's a haiku I made during couples therapy. Pilots everywhere. I see pilots everywhere. Pilots in the air. My wife divorced me later that day. It's pilot school time.
Da 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 pilot school. So yeah, for pilot school, we spun the wheel last week. It landed on 30 Rock, and we watched it. And
We
we're
did?
going to... Yeah, we watched the first episode of 30 Rock. I hope you
did. I did. I actually did. I completely forgot about it until like 2 hours ago. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Well, it is fresh in my mind, so that's good. Yeah.
So 30 Rock is about like a TV comedy writing station place held at
Studio.
30 Rockefeller. I think that's what it's called, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tina Fey is a writer for The Girly Show, which is a sketch comedy show, but then
Seems to be a satire of like something.
SNL,
I don't know.
or maybe
Yeah,
like
probably
like
SNL.
that. Yeah. But then Alec Baldwin becomes the new boss of everybody, and Tina Fey doesn't like it and has to bring in Tracy Morgan, who is a cool...
Tracy Jordan.
Oh yeah, they changed his name in the thing.
Yeah, I thought that was. Let's talk about how we feel about it later.
Anyway, it's weird. Okay, so everyone has been talking about 30 Rock on Twitter recently because they've just been rewatching it and been like, man, I forgot how good 30 Rock was, and they'll post really good quotes and clips, and it's like, haha, that was really funny. But the first episode of a lot of comedies, especially these network sitcoms, usually aren't the best because they have to set up a lot of characters and stuff, and so it wasn't...
I agree. I was really not a fan of this one. I thought it was like all right.
All right, I mean,
that's how I can describe a lot of it. Except like I'm not gonna lie. Every time Tracy Morgan was on screen, I was more invested. I think I do really like. I think he's a very a genuinely funny individual. So he was always very entertaining.
I liked some of this stuff. I thought it was very good writing wise. I liked the opening.
At times, yeah, I agree.
The opening scene with Tina Fey getting a hot dog and then buying all the hot dogs kind of shows a lot of her personality of being someone who wants to be in control of stuff and is kind, but is very opinionated in a lot of ways.
And I do like that. I do genuinely like that.
And Alec Baldwin
I just wasn't a fan of this.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was all that funny.
Alec Baldwin is shown as...
I didn't really like... Sorry.
You better shut your mouth right now, bro. Bro. So, hey, that's more than I laughed during 30 Rock.
Yeah, like
Oops.
the only thing is when
did I just say that?
The only thing that it got out of me, like that even slightly resembled a laugh, was That's it. That's the noise. No genuine laugh.
I like the first part of the episode. I really liked. I liked whenever they were having the meeting and Tina Fey was obviously uncomfortable during the Alec Baldwin like being the boss and everything, and how Alec Baldwin
I did really like that. That was funny.
he walked through the wall like Terminator. You know?
Yeah, that was funny.
It just there's a lot of characters on the show. They're not given time to flesh out because it's a 30-minute sitcom, obviously, you know.
Fair, yeah.
And I can see a lot of comedic potential in what could happen later because it's them making a TV show, you know.
I guess that's the problem with shows. Like the thing is, the thing is, I guess I expect like that first episode to be really, really good to even like warrant me to actually care and continue watching. And I feel like I don't really understand how people continued after this first episode because I did not find it funny.
Well, it happens to the best TV shows. I mean, The Office has
fair,
the
like
weird
The Office
first episode.
I honestly thought the first episode was really good overall. I thought that was really funny. First season was a bit iffy, and then season 2 was where it found its footing. And yeah, you're right. Like even Parks and Rec. That first season was really bad. Like that first season was basically just, hey, we're The Office, but not. That was the whole first season. It just felt like they were trying to be like The Office, and it didn't work. And then season 2 onwards, again, it got its footing. It essentially just understood what kind of personality it wanted, and that's why it was successful after that point. And I hope
took a couple of episodes to. It took a couple of episodes to get its footing. It happens to a lot of TV shows, but then you look at Rami from last week, and maybe it's because it's
Rami.
Rami, and because it's. I'm not sure why, but that one grabbed me so much more than this, even though it kind of has the same things. I mean, you have a lot of characters on Rami that you don't see a lot of, like the one, the one disabled man, you know?
Yeah, I know from the trailers that he'll be in the show a lot, and
the sister.
I thought it was pretty funny how little he was in the show in that episode. Both of them, yeah, and the sister. She had a really good. I really liked what they introduced with her, and I seriously loved the disabled friend. I thought he was hilarious.
Right, but then you have this one, and none of the characters really made a super big impression on me. I mean, I like Jack McBrayer, but
I liked. I was a big fan of Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan was a big highlight, and that's why he's sort of the headliner of the show.
Him, I think it was him, Alec Baldwin, and even Tina Fey had her moments.
Yeah, Tina Fey had her moments.
I think the thing is, it's just because I see Alec Baldwin, and automatically I'm like, oh hell yeah, I love this. Just because I'm so used to seeing him be really funny in stuff in like SNL. His Trump impression is still awesome, I think. So yeah, I see him and I think he's really funny. Although maybe part of that might just be it's not even really him, but Team America. That also might be part of it.
Well, I feel like this show has a lot of potential, but you just kind of don't see it.
It does.
I just didn't see it in the first episode, and maybe that's just a problem with having a pilot school thing about these kind of comedies, you know?
Yeah, there are seriously. I think honestly, sitcoms tend to really not have that much of a really that great of a first episode. The only one, The Office, I think had a really good one, and Arrested Development, that entire first season was awesome.
First episode has to set up all the stuff, and
it's not impossible. Yeah, it has to do that.
A few jokes, and it's like, yeah, but they're not the strongest jokes because they're saving them for later episodes when everything can get super ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to set everything up, and you have to give people a reason to watch. And I feel like set up some things that could be awesome, but I didn't really give that much of it, honestly.
Yeah.
And that was kind of sad. Because I'd always heard really good things about the show. Crap, I'm trying to think.
I'll go first.
Dude, that's probably the thing. I don't, I can think of some pretty, like, if you were to ask me that about Rami, I could at least come up with some, because there were some really good lines. This, I can't really think of any. I saw it 2 hours ago, and I've already forgot, like, a lot of it.
Line was so there was the actress who kind of had a crush on Alec Baldwin and was talking to him. And then
Yeah.
Jack McBrayer came by and was like, here's your hemorrhoid cream, because she uses for his face, but he didn't know that.
That
made me
was
chuckle.
funny, I guess, but it just feels like hemorrhoid.
That's why I
Which
laughed.
is,
Those, heh.
it felt kind of cheap, but whatever. It was alright,
I'm
I guess.
grasping at straws here, man. I
Yeah,
don't want to make people mad.
Well, I don't care. I don't think it's I don't think it was very good. It might get better, but just as a first episode,
Yep.
I did not care for it, and I doubt I'm going to keep going.
So I'm guessing that you will ground this pilot.
Yes.
I think I would too, but I would let it get a retest. You know, I would give it another
I
shot.
might. I mean,
but...
I didn't hate it, and I quite honestly did enjoy parts of it, especially like near the end. I think it picked up, but still, overall, I'm not really a fan of this pilot. Again, it's considering I know it was acclaimed, and I'm pretty sure it got better afterwards, but I don't know. I don't see myself watching it again. Well,
we saw some stuff this week.
We did?
I did. And guess what? We're going to mix it up.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going first this time, bucko.
Oh, that was a strong word.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming. I'm going to have to censor a lot of this podcast, so, you know.
Sorry.
That's another censor for the swear jar.
That's another swear jar. Okay.
So I watched my first Ghibli and/or Ghibli movies.
Yeah. Whoa.
I watched two of them. I watched Kiki's Delivery Service and then Princess Mononoke.
I actually have never seen a Ghibli. Yeah, Ghibli movie.
Right. Well, it's whatever. It's GIF kind of thing, you know. So.
Yeah. Point is, like, I know their stuff is fantastic. I know HBO Max is gonna have like pretty much all of Ghibli stuff later this month. So at that point, I'm gonna like binge like the crap out of them. But yeah, you go. Sorry.
So first, I watched Kiki's Delivery Service, and now that is my second and/or tied with first favorite movie that I've seen this year.
Wow. Okay, so that's tied with Parasite, right?
It's tied with Parasite, but it's hard to compare them because they're two completely different movies.
Of course.
Kiki is a hangout movie. It's one that is just nice to be with, you know?
Question about it, is that Miyazaki, or is it not?
I believe so, yes. Miyazaki directed this one.
Okay.
It's based on a children's book in Japan, or maybe it's not in Japan, but it's based on a children's book about a little witch who, for her, after your 13th birthday when you're a witch, you have to move to another city or town and be kind of like the town witch there.
Mm-hmm.
And use your special skills to kind of finish your training. And Kiki can fly. She can fly on her broom, which all witches can do, but that's pretty much the only thing she's good at. So she starts a delivery service for the bakery that she meets at this Italian, really nice town. And it made me cry.
Wow, okay. Really?
It made me cry. You know what? How many movies are there nowadays where people are just kind to each other and try to make each other feel good and stuff like that? I enjoy a good, crazy movie like Parasite where it's cynical and there's death and all that stuff.
Very, like, that was really brutal at the end. I was surprised by how that went.
Right. But Kiki is just there's like some bullies and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's about going away to a new place, which I'm relating to right now because I'm going to be going to college.
And I'm not.
Yeah, you're not going to college. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to Lone Star.
Oh. Oops. Sorry. It's about trying to find out what you're good at in a new place and finding out that it's about, I relate to the themes of talents in movies. That's why Adaptation is one of my favorite movies of all time, because it's about being a screenwriter and how he feels like he's talented at that, but feels very insecure about it, and like he's not good at it. And this is about talents and moving away. And there's one scene in this movie involving a cake that it just broke me, because it's just an adorable movie. It's great.
I'll check it out if it's on HBO Max. I'll definitely check.
Yeah. On the other hand,
Princess Mononoke. I'm sorry, before you bring it up, this is one I really do want to see. So please be as vague as possible. This is one I've been wanting to see for a while.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Princess Mononoke, which is still rated PG, maybe PG-13 because of the blood.
I'm pretty sure it's PG-13 because I'm pretty sure it's like pretty violent.
Yeah, it's pretty violent, but it's really cool. I don't like it as much as Kiki, but they're again totally different movies. Princess Mononoke is kind of like a fairy tale, a spiritual myth, and the characters do what they need to do. It's a gray kind of plot where there's not really good guys or bad guys in the movie.
Sure.
But
which is great.
Yeah. And the main character he doesn't have like a crazy personality, but his personality is being stoic,
Yeah.
I see people really love this movie, and I agree, I do love this movie, but it's a different kind of movie, and it's crazy what this studio can accomplish, and I'm excited to see more, because this is also Miyazaki.
Yeah. He has a lot, like, probably, like, an insanely respected career, which I'm honestly pissed at myself for not having seen any of his stuff. Like, my friend, we were at this camp, like, I think we were hanging out one time, and he put on Spirited Away, and I guess I was just not in the mindset for it.
Yeah.
Who knows? I feel dumb now. What else did you watch?
Another masterpiece I watched was a movie that came out yesterday, actually.
Wow, okay.
I watched SCOOB.
Oh, no.
So...
I feel bad for you, that's why.
Hey, okay. No, don't feel bad for me, because
I know how much I know how much you love Scooby-Doo, so...
Well, I love Scooby-Doo a lot, but if you look at my ratings, none of them go over a 6 out of 10.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah. Most of them are on the lower spectrum. But
yeah.
I just love this series, and this is a revamped kind of version of it where it has some of the annoying trends of a modern animated movie. Pop culture references, a lot of songs, popular
Did you say
songs.
IKEA? Sorry.
That was funny. That's always going to be hilarious.
Yeah, that's actually a really funny joke, I'm not going to lie.
Celebrity voices, because this is the first time that Frank Welker is not playing Fred, pretty much.
Yeah, wasn't it Zac Efron this time?
Zac Efron, yeah.
Jeez, and also, it was him, Amanda Seyfried, I think was Daphne?
Yep, Daphne.
And who's Shaggy in this movie?
Will Forte, which I'm really upset about because Matthew Lillard is amazing, and he should always be Shaggy forever.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing about Matthew Lillard. Put him in whatever movie he wants to be in all the time, please, because I loved him in Scream, and I love him as Shaggy, even in those crappy live-action movies. Pretty much everyone can agree they introduced Matthew Lillard as Shaggy, and just that was a match made in heaven. So
you would
Okay.
definitely not like this movie at all. But
yeah,
because I know Scooby-Doo and I know Hanna-Barbera, I know all the classic characters like the Blue Falcon and Dynomutt. I know Captain Caveman and Jabberjaw and Wacky Races. I was able to catch
yeah,
a
I've
lot
never
of.
been much for like cartoons or anything like that because I didn't have a childhood.
I'm just gonna let that slide. You can continue being my friend for a little bit.
Thank you.
Uh, the first 30 or so minutes of this movie is actually pretty good. I liked it.
Okay.
It has a kind of absurdist sense of comedy that I found really funny. Like there's a part where Shaggy and Scooby they're kids and they're going Halloween, trick or treating,
Yep.
and then some bullies on skateboards steal their candy. And it's like, oh man, give me back my candy. It's like, do you know how many cavities you get from this? It's like, yeah, but we don't really care, And the bullies start lecturing them on dental hygiene.
Are you serious?
And then they throw the candy into like the haunted house and be like, haha, your teeth will thank us later.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually really funny.
It is really funny.
That is the best twist on bullies I have ever heard.
And even the pop cultural references during this part weren't that bad,
Like we're like eye roll.
They were not
worthy.
eye roll. They were not eye roll worthy. The best one was probably for the Halloween thing. Still, Velma was dressed as a Supreme Court justice, and Shaggy thought that she was dressed as someone from Harry Potter. It's like so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's like, who are you dressed as? And she names the Supreme Court justice, and it's like, so what house is she in? It's like, I'm a Supreme Court justice, Shaggy. And it's like, oh, Slytherin.
Yeah, that is really good.
And
but I'm guessing it got worse.
It got much worse. I liked a lot of things about it. So there is kind of a villain thing, and I like the villains in this movie because they were both faithful to the original source material that they're from, but also really funny.
Right.
And I also liked Ken Jeong, Senior Chang as Dynomutt, just being a sarcastic know-it-all. He was great.
So Ken Jeong.
Yeah,
in
Ken
like
Jeong.
everything.
Yes. The biggest problem about this movie, I'm just going to finish this up really quick, is that it's not a mystery. It's a superhero movie.
Yeah, that sounds a lot different from
There's so many parts in the movie where I was like, ooh, they could do this. So then it would be kind of like a Scooby-Doo movie. But then they don't do that, and they make it worse and bad.
Well, Matt, I think your standards are just too high. I mean, why did you expect a mystery? It's not like their car has the word mystery on the side of it.
It's not a great movie, but because I know references and I thought the first half was funny, I gave it some credit. 4 out of 10. Whatever.
I have one question about it. So, if you were to, would you recommend this to somebody who is not really necessarily a fan of Scooby-Doo, like just someone who wants to watch a movie randomly? Would you recommend this?
Yes, but only to younger kids.
Okay.
Not as much as I want to recommend it to your dad or whatever.
Yeah.
Although
my dad would probably like it.
There might be some things he finds funny.
So.
Okay, then yeah.
He likes Minions, so his tastes are officially. Oh boy.
I mean, that's about it for me. I have some other stuff, but I won't say it. It'll be a mystery. Which is more than what the SCOOB movie did.
Oh, pew, 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 pew.
Did I just say that?
So I saw a bunch of stuff this week. I don't know if I mentioned. There are two of these. I'm not sure if I mentioned on the last episode, but even if I did, screw it. They're worth mentioning again. I saw Team America World Police. I believe.
You mentioned that.
Okay, you know what? I'll skip it then. Nocturnal Animals. Did I mention?
Well, you kind of mentioned a bunch in like Free Fire mode, where it's like,
yeah. So
I watched this and this and this and this and this.
Okay, I'm still going to mention Nocturnal Animals and talk about it.
Okay.
I remember I tried watching it earlier. I think last year I tried watching it. I rented it, and I'm like, you know what? I guess this isn't really my thing. But it's on HBO, so I decided to give it a shot. I gave it, I believe, a 9 out of 10. I bumped it up to a 10 at this point. I think it's fantastic. Tom Ford seriously he outdid himself here, and it's strange knowing that he is a fashion designer. That like you would think like those like fashion design and filmmaking shouldn't really go hand in hand. And but the thing is with Nocturnal Animals is his eye for visual detail really shows, and I believe the like pretty much everything is fantastic. Costume design, performances were all fantastic, including Aaron Taylor Johnson, who I never really liked until this point. Jake Gyllenhaal gives two very distinct performances,
Like a twin or
both of
something.
which are fantastic. No. Do you know the plot of this movie?
Oh yeah, it's like a story within a story or something, right?
Yeah, I think the twin thing you're thinking of Enemy, but
Oh yeah, I wasn't thinking
another
that, but yeah.
another awesome but fantastic another fantastic movie. But yeah, so this is basically it's Amy Adams. She is a rich but very sad artist, I believe, art dealer, something like that.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, she's like she gets this manuscript from her ex-husband, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And the thing is, he is a writer, and he dedicated the book to her. And the book is very, very, very bleak, and it's a story of a man whose family gets murdered by a bunch of psychopaths in Texas.
Like wait, what does he mean by this?
Yeah, and it's that. So it's basically the story of Amy Adams, just like in the now, and then it cuts back to the like what's happening in the book, and then also her reminiscing of her relationship with Jake Gyllenhaal's character. And
Sounds like the song Mixtape from Avenue Q. I'll play it here.
Sure, just beautiful. I think it works so well, and the ending is. I'm not going to spoil it because I do recommend that you see it if you whenever you can. The ending is like it's one of those where if you describe it to someone, it just sounds like just dull. But then in the context of the movie, it's so honestly kind of savage. I think it's fantastic. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Awesome.
Then I saw Raw, which was, I'm not going to lie, that was something I was actually really scared to watch. I think I texted you like, oh my gosh, I'm going to rent Raw. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. And then I'm just like, screw it. Yes, I am. Because I was really scared because everyone said it was like really, really, really gross. And honestly, after having watched it, I didn't really get that. I found it to be like, it was good. And yes, it felt kind of like, in terms of filmmaking, I felt kind of like a diet Gaspar Noé. Like, it kind of felt like, this directed by, I believe, Huh?
Wasn't it like a directorial debut?
I think so. I think feature debut from Julia Ducournau, I believe, is her feature debut. She has done a bunch of shorts before, and it's always like body horror, sort of. And it was really good overall. I did think that there were definitely issues I had. I thought the score was just not all that great. The story wasn't all that great either. But I feel like it's just the presentation and the performances that really made it. It's like the rest of the filmmaking that just really brought it up for me. I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I really liked it overall. And yeah, then I saw The Goldfinch, which I did not like. It was not good. It was really not good. But I'll mention my pros first because there are definitely a lot of things. There are things that it has going for it. I think Jeffrey Wright is really good in the movie. The child actor Oaks Fegley is great. And in retrospect, I've changed my mind about Ansel Elgort in this film. I honestly do think he did a great job. His performance is very understated. And, like, I would say in a way, it's not as good, but it kind of compares to Amy Adams in Nocturnal Animals. It's very understated, soft-spoken, and it conveys everything that you need to know. Just with that, he doesn't need, like, this big scene of him crying or anything to convey all of this, and I think he does a good job.
Well, it sounds like a great movie, but what's the problem?
I can't say that about, oh wait, no, I'm not done talking about the good things. Roger Deakins seriously did an awesome job with this movie.
Goes without saying.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is, why I'm mentioning it in this movie in particular is because the settings are all very boring, theoretically speaking, but the thing is, they don't look boring because of the way he frames. He does such a fantastic job of, like, bringing out the character in these dull places. And I think the score was good. And, yeah, that's about it. This movie was not good. Bad things. Or at least mediocre things. Nicole Kidman, and this is strange because I normally love Nicole Kidman. She was so, so-so in this movie. Like, she seriously did not bring all that much. There were points where her performance was genuinely great, but most of the time she was just there. And that really sucks, because I think she's one of the best actresses working today.
Well, I'm glad that she was the only actress or actor that did not a great job in the movie. Right?
Finn Wolfhard was so bad. He was... Okay, I know you're going to be censoring, so I don't really care. He was so shitty in this movie. Oh, he was so bad. It's like, the thing is, there are points where, because in this movie he plays a Russian character. Well, Russian, Ukrainian, I don't even care because this movie's bad. And what sucks is that there are points where I actually get used to his performance, and then it's only like for 20 seconds because then immediately he does something horrible, and it just makes me be like, okay, never mind, it's a kid doing a really bad Russian accent. Like him just being like, huh, Harry Potter! Like, he just kept doing that, and it was so bad. Yes, he does that, and it's so bad. The way he laughs, just, huh! He does that so many times in the movie, and it's so funny every time.
Ralph Macchio or something? Doing karate?
No, it's Harry Potter! It's like, just kill me. Ben, what happened? Like, and it's not like the kid can't act. He was really good in both of the It movies, and he was fine in Stranger Things season 1 and 2. Season 3, he got significantly worse, and then
significantly worse in season 3.
Yeah, he was not good in this movie. I heard he was like really, really, really bad in The Turning. But to be fair, I even heard Mackenzie Davis was bad in that movie, and I love Mackenzie Davis, so...
It all depends on the director sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I heard it's strange when the youngest actress and the oldest actress are the only ones who people actually said did a good job, and not the ones in between. It's the little girl from Florida Project. But anyway, okay, what else did I watch? I saw Prisoner. I rewatched Prisoners. My opinion has slightly changed. I do still love it, and I think it's a brilliant movie. Denis Villeneuve. I would say...
Villeneuve.
Sorry, Edgar Wright. I think Denis might have taken your spot as my number one favorite director. Because I've seen just... And the thing is, his movies, I feel, vary in quality a bit. But the thing is, I feel like his movies feel so different overall. Like, if you look at his movies from 2010 onwards, he made, in 2010, Ensemble, which is somewhat of a... Not really it's kind of a war drama. Then Prisoners is a crime thriller. Enemy is a psychological thriller. Sicario is a cartel movie. Arrival is a movie about aliens, and then Blade Runner is
a thriller.
Blade Runner. And then Dune, which is gonna be... I'm insanely excited for Dune. But yeah, Prisoners... I was insanely impressed by the cinematography, once again, by, guess who it was? Take a wild guess.
Roger Deakins.
Yes. He did a brilliant... he lost the Oscar that year, I think, to... I think, Emmanuel Lubezki, because he won 3 years in a row. But, yeah, he won for, I think, it lost to Gravity that year. But anyway, cinematography is beautiful. All of the acting is fantastic. Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Maria Bello. Terrence Howard is an actor I'm not even a big fan of, and I thought he was pretty great in this movie. And Dylan Minnette was actually good. Not gonna lie, he was really good. Even though, I mean, I think what helps is he was barely in the movie. So, but there is one thing that, like, I gave this a 9 out of 10 when I first watched it a few years ago, but after watching it, there is one thing that just does not make sense. Like, it just feels like there's a plot point that was just never fully explained, like a character motivation, that I just didn't really understand. Maybe a third viewing might change that, but I doubt it. Regardless, I still really love the movie. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And I got one more movie that I want to bring up. It's called
Alright.
There Will Be Blood.
I've seen that too, so we can both talk about it.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty much on the same boat. It's a really good movie. It's very overrated, though.
It's a little overrated, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Not at all. Far from it. I think this is one of those movies where it's like, I do believe it is a fantastic movie, but there are issues there are, I guess, elements where there are times where I feel like it's just not for me. But let me talk about the things I loved. Cinematography was, so good. Oh man, the cinematography was beautiful.
There's a problem with that for me.
Really? What part?
Well, I didn't watch it legally. I got a rip of it off YouTube.
Oh, that's probably why.
And
I saw it on Netflix.
Well, I didn't know it until
on a 4K
later into
TV.
the movie. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't
I didn't realize it until near like 20 minutes in, where they just showed the top left corner of the whole movie, but it's like a big corner, you know? So it's like, a lot of these shots are, they're not symmetrical, and I can only see half the guy's face. What's up with that?
See, this is why I don't do that. I wait until it's on Netflix, or until I can rent it.
Well, I watched it on the way to a football game. We lost that game. So, I hate this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your fault. Thanks, Paul Thomas Anderson.
You made me lose the championship.
Be more like your better counterpart, Paul W.S. Anderson.
He made me win the championship.
If you watched, instead of There Will Be Blood, if you watched Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
Or Event Horizon. Or even better, Resident Evil.
There Will Be Blood is a showcase of great performances, an alright...
Oh boy, no. Absolutely fantastic performances from both Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano.
Paul Dano is my mano.
Get out. I don't need a co-host anymore.
I could do this by myself.
No, you're not. You're the Guillermo to my Jimmy Kimmel. That means you suck.
Oh.
No, sorry. It means I suck, but I suck a little less without you. Okay, you know what? This bit's going on too long. Anyway,
I'm funny.
Paul Dano was serious. I loved it, like the way he preaches. It was really funny, and it was. I feel like it was just Paul Thomas Anderson. I feel like is an intelligent guy, and I think he was going for comedy in that scene. And yeah, it's very, very over the top, but it's way too over the top to be unintentional, I feel. And he also did the score for another PTA movie, which I'm gonna keep comparing this to The Master, which I feel is a much better movie overall. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. And even Paul Thomas Anderson, he has said that The Master is his favorite out of all of his films. and I definitely see why. That's a brilliant film that I highly recommend to you.
I will see it. It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'll give it a shot, you know?
Don't watch it with your parents though.
Yeah.
And I'm giving There Will Be Blood an 8 out of 10. It's closer to a 9 than a 7, but I'm keeping it at an 8.
Cool. Speaking of overrated.
Whoa, okay.
Oops, did I just say that? Okay, so
Okay.
introduce your movie. Introduce your movie, please.
I hate you. But,
I was about to say that to you.
okay, but first of all, okay, so we watched the 2019 film The Lodge, which was directed by Veronica Franz and Severin Fiala, who previously directed Goodnight Mommy. And it's about a soon-to-be stepmom is snowed in with her fiance's 2 children at a remote holiday village. Just as relations begin to thaw between the trio, some strange and frightening events take place. And the thing was, I knew this had somewhat of a positive critical reception, but I knew it was like way more divisive than that for Goodnight Mommy. And I had seen it, and I did love it overall, but I figured it would be something that would kind of make for an interesting discussion, considering there are definitely some polarizing things in the movie. So this is why I really wanted to
Yeah.
talk about it on the podcast.
So
I'd like to hear you first.
yeah, I mean, I'll give my opinions on this movie, on this fine movie. Yeah. You know how we watched Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and I felt really bad for not liking it as much as you did. I still liked it. Like, I gave it a 6 out of 10, but I felt bad for not thinking it was great.
Yeah.
Well, I feel no remorse for saying that this is a bad movie, and I do not like it.
Okay.
This is Dog Dookie movie. This is the dog that got frozen Dog Dookie movie. Frozen Dog Do.
Okay. Okay. Tell me how you really feel.
No, that's how I feel. It's a bad movie.
Okay.
Okay, so let me explain my feelings, okay? So I was watching this on Hulu, okay? And
that's weird, so did I.
I know, right? It's almost like it's on Hulu.
Plug. I highly recommend it. Plug.
Let's just rename this a Hulu podcast or something. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So I watched the first 50 minutes of this movie, and then I had to leave to go somewhere else. I had to go to, like, my brother's football practice, you know?
Uh-huh.
And at that point, I was like, this is a pretty good movie, you know? I'm excited to see where this movie goes.
Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Yeah. If I stopped it there,
also, I wanted to interrupt you because I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah. I would have given it like a, 7 out of 10. Maybe if it got really good after that, like maybe if it built upon its themes, like it would have gotten an 8.
Yeah.
But then I watched the next half the next day, and it just pooped the bed. It was okay. First half, it's good. I liked all the things they were setting up. I liked some of the symbolism. I liked the cinematography. So here's some things I liked, okay? Here's like specific things I liked. There's a scene, okay? Where
this movie had scenes.
Yes. Where the girl is, playing with her doll in the ice, and she drops it in the it goes into the fishing pond, and the stepmother comes to get the doll. She falls in the water, but she is able to retrieve the doll.
Yeah.
Then the next scene, they have a conversation. It's like the first real conversation that they've had. It wasn't a great conversation.
Pretty much Hater. Yeah.
But they were able to talk to each other after that, and then she stopped talking to him. The girl stopped talking to the stepmother, so the stepmother hid the toy so that she could find it again, hoping that she could talk to the girl more, you know?
Yeah.
And that was like really smart. I was like, hey, that's smart writing. Which the second half of this movie doesn't have, apparently. So,
Okay.
my deal is, it was going to an interesting place where you think it's purgatory. You think that they're in purgatory or something. And that was
By the way,
interesting to
that
me.
scene, and I really loved the scene with the kid, Jade Martell, hanging himself, and then it turns out he didn't actually hang himself. That was...
part.
What?
Like, did they show how he did it without really doing it?
What happened was, I'm pretty sure they did. It was, like, they didn't explicitly show it, but it was a harness. He had a harness. That's what happened.
If I haven't seen that, maybe I would have given it a better score. I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, spoilers for the the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movie.
Oh.
Yes. Same thing. Like, basically same thing.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, here's my main problem with the movie that ruins the movie for me, okay? Because there's so many things I like about it. I like the cinematography, like whenever they're in the attic and all that, and the light is coming through.
Oh, it's beautifully shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I liked it when the movie had it kind of showed the kid's point of view after their mom died, you know? And so you get to see the kid's point of view of everything.
Scene was just... Yeah, that entire... Like, I was actually not really expecting that. Like, I knew kind of, like, how the plot would go before watching the movie, but still, like, that was a scene that was... Yikes.
You know, and then it shows the stepmom's point of view, which is good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They start to have these themes about religion and cults and purgatory and like having your sins done and letting go of the past and all this stuff. And then, like in the beginning of the movie, with that doll and the balloon, they let it go, and then it sinks to the earth. And then they let go of those themes that they tied onto the proverbial balloon, and they let it go again. And the movie's not the same. They just...
Yeah.
They take the part that was the most interesting, which was, hey, they're in purgatory, and then they make it like, hey, us kids, we were trying to gaslight you, and we made up this really complicated way of just pulling a really mean prank on you that no kid would ever do, or at least not do this well, you know, until you actually went crazy. What were you expecting her to do?
Some sort of, like, I can understand where they're coming from, because, for crying out loud, their mom, like, the mom shot herself.
An excuse.
The mom shot herself. These are kids. They're not able to think all that rationally, and honestly, just the teenager...
think rationally enough to be able to make this really complicated prank.
I said think rationally. Not be able to think. Like, they clearly can think. The issue... Okay. I'm not defending these kids.
Defend
at all, huh?
the movie. Defend the movie to me, okay?
Yeah. I am not at all defending the actions, because it is really f***ed up. But I would say that it kind of makes sense why they did it, and first of all, what are your criticisms? I'm surprised you didn't mention the dollhouse as a criticism at all.
Dollhouse? I mean,
because
whatever. It was just a rip-off. It was a rip-off of Hereditary. I didn't think it was
actually
that bad.
That's the thing I actually wanted to mention. This movie was filming before Hereditary even came out. So...
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, what happened was...
Hereditary stuff.
That's the thing. These were filming at roughly the same time, so the problem was Hereditary became big, and now everyone will be comparing that to Hereditary.
Yeah.
And which is probably, I have a feeling that's probably why they released this movie in 2019 instead of like later in 2018, because then it would have definitely been more of an issue.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't, because like both the Dollhouse and both movies have this Dollhouse aesthetic throughout the entire movie in terms of framing. But yeah, I honestly did really like that it felt like they were somewhat trapped, and with Grace, that like just she wasn't in control, and there
She
was
didn't
a
have the
lot that
drugs or something.
yeah, that
So
which
she
is
was
okay.
hallucinating.
That was such a shitty thing to do. That was horrible, and I really hated these kids. And there are the thing is, I don't think this is a perfect movie. Quite honestly, I do not. There are issues that I have with it. I do feel like it is a little bit contrived at points, and I don't know why it did kind of bug me. The scene where they're watching The Thing, that did kind of bug me because it's like, oh hey, it's a much better movie
Other
about
than
people
because I
getting.
thought the movie might actually be good, so it's like, oh, like there might be a monster or some kind of threat, but you know, they didn't.
I personally love this movie, and I did like what they did with it. I think the issue really just stems from like some nitpicks, like the entire uh sequence of Grace leaving the house just to roam around. Like, what was the point of that? I mean, okay, sorry, I understand the point of that, but like when she goes to the building that's shaped like a cross, like was she imagining things or what was that?
Whenever you don't have the
That
drugs, you can do whatever you want to do.
I guess. And also the scene, do you remember the scene where it's like she looks outside the window and she sees angels, like snow angels outside?
It's like creepy, and I liked it. But then,
It was
I
creepy,
learned.
but the thing is, like, I'm trying to know, is that actual hallucination? First of all, is that a hallucination? Or did the kids somehow manage to do that without bringing snow in the house and alerting Grace that something weird is going on? And second of all, if that is a hallucination, what sort of relevance does that have? Because I feel like all of her other hallucinations at least make sense. Because it does set up the character very
Yeah.
well overall. So,
Well, yeah. I
yeah.
gotta admit, I've been a little hyperbolic. You know, I understand why people would like this movie. I understand why you like this movie. And just because I personally did not like it does not mean that I, wish ill upon the filmmakers or anything like that. And blah blah blah.
I think
But
they are talented, personally. I feel it's just, yeah.
I just feel like after they needed a twist, and the twist makes it. It's not just like a twist where it's like they find something out at the end. It's like a twist that's like, oh, something has been happening the whole movie where the kids have been pulling a prank on her, basically.
Yeah.
So, if I was to ever watch this movie again, which I highly doubt it now, I would not take the movie seriously, and I would be even more critical because
Real. Okay.
you have them being in purgatory. That's something. You could talk about so many things. The fact that she was in like a suicide cult, and now she's in purgatory, and like how she starts to change into like back to what her original thing was. That's great. But then it's not great whenever, because
It's revealed that it's not.
when the kids first say like we have to like tell her it's fake, I thought it was like, oh, you gotta try to make her feel better, like try to like lie to her so make think like everything's gonna be okay, you know.
I mean, they kind of did give it away before that point because they had the little radio in
I
the
thought like
attic saying
spooky ghost
repent.
stuff.
Oh, that's what you thought? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was only when the dad came back where I was like, wait a
When you
second,
finally realized.
they were actually pulling a prank.
Well, did you not realize when the dog died, when she found the dead dog?
I thought that was ghost stuff.
How? Okay.
Dead dog. I mean,
Okay.
all the other stuff was outside, right?
That is true. There was also a cross building that could have been real, that could have not been real.
Right.
snow angels, which is, by the way, that's like my biggest nitpick about that whole twist, because it's like, okay, fair, all the other things that they're doing throughout the movie, I understand, it makes somewhat of sense, but what the are the snow angels? Did they seriously go outside and make snow angels?
I'm not sure if my complaints with this movie are nitpicky. I think it's just one thing about this movie, which is the reveal that the kids are doing it, made me so irrationally angry about everything else that.
Yeah, that was most people's reactions, by the way.
I know, but because I like so much about this movie, and I think that if it was able to stick the landing, even if it was like, even if they did something like, oh hey, the murder cult or whatever, that the suicide cult that you're a part of, like they took all your stuff and were like hiding and like they were pulling the joke on you, you know.
That does not make sense, though.
I would have preferred it to the kids making, like, I guess they went to a TJ Maxx or whatever and bought a picture frame of them being like, what's this? It says that we died.
I mean, it could possibly have been implied, because, like, think about it, like, the scene, like, the dinner scene, when the dad basically says, hey, I'm gonna marry the girl who's kind of partially responsible for your mom putting a gun in her mouth, but, like, that was during
really.
Well, I mean, it's not her fault. If anything, it's all the dad's fault. This entire plot is the dad's fault.
But it wasn't really.
It's
a normal thing to get a divorce and get remarried.
Yeah, but they were only separated. But they were only separated, like, during that time. You're seriously gonna find another woman during the time that you're separated. Not only that, but tell your wife, who you are technically still married to, that you want a divorce so you can marry this other woman? That's that's very immoral, I would say. Because, I mean, yeah, you are planning on getting a divorce, but you are still married currently, and this is technically adultery.
So also, like, I thought they would go somewhere with all their religious imagery and stuff, but then it's just like, oh, it's kind of spooky how we sing hymnals
at the end.
Well, yeah, just like the idea of using it just as a crutch for it being spooky.
I heavily disagree. I feel like, because the thing is, she was part of that radically Christian cult, and that's why after she was out of it, because the thing is, brainwashing, it's to, like, whenever someone's brainwashed and you finally get them to, like, snap out of it, it's so hard to be able to do that. And the thing is, that's why throughout the movie she is uncomfortable with the religious aspects of the house, where the big picture of, I believe, Mary, the cross in the room, just like that. Like, even I believe, yeah, she takes, like, the painting of Mary off the wall and just, like, has it faced against the wall. Like, that makes sense, because the thing is, she doesn't want this to trigger. And because the whole point is they're just manipulating her into almost, because now they believe that the mom's going to hell, because you shouldn't kill yourself. That's you will go to hell for that.
I understand.
And I feel like the whole point of it was to make, it was just to be like, our mother is in hell now, and I want you to live in a world where it feels like it's hell. And honestly, I do think it's kind of funny that it takes place in the cold. But
yeah, I don't know.
This is why I chose this movie in particular, because I felt like this would definitely be something that we would, like, not agree on wholeheartedly, and that's why I wanted, because I wanted to do something that we would, like, 100% probably just not agree with.
This movie, like, I had different reactions. It was kind of like 7 out of 10, you know, and then it was like the ending happened. I was like, huh? Oh, all right. I mean, that wasn't great. Like, 5, I guess. But then I just started getting angry. Like I started to explain the plot to my brother, And
Yeah.
the more I started to explain, I was like, "Wait a second, this is stupid."
I get that.
And
I
I
find
understand why
it,
you like it, because
especially the ending, I thought was bleak. That was a bleak ass ending.
it's a bleak ending, and I thought that was a good ending, but it's just,
How we got there.
yeah, wasn't earned to me.
I can understand. I can understand that.
It's 50 minutes
Like
of dallying around, and
sorry.
then spooky stuff happens, but it's not really spooky, It's just kind of like, what's going on?
I do
Sort of
appreciate
stuff.
that this movie at least decided not to just be cheap and have jump scares. That is
Yeah.
something that, because I don't hate jump scares indiscriminately, but the thing is, I feel like you need to know when to use one and when to just decide not to, and I feel like the fact that this movie had none was very respectable. What would you give this final, like, what's your final rating for
A
The
4.
Lodge?
It's a
A
4.
4 out of 10?
4 out of 10. It's better than SCOOB. That's what I can
That's
say about
something.
it. Yeah,
That's something. You know
I'll
what?
give you
That's
that.
I'm actually very happy about that. So
Yeah.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Although in hindsight, I do feel like it might go down to a 7.
I'm not trying to change your
But
mind or anything.
no, not at all. I understand. I feel like this shouldn't be about trying to change each other's minds. This should just be about. This is all about the discussion more than anything, and I just wanted to have like an interesting discussion. I figured this would be a movie that we would not really agree on. So I'm glad I chose this one.
Glad too, even though I didn't like it,
Honestly, I feel like yeah, I'm cool with you not liking it. It's
And I'm cool with you liking it.
yeah.
Let's
This
be
is like I was trying
friends.
to think of yeah. I was trying to think of something like kind of out of left field, but I wasn't gonna do like say something like The Nightingale because that's a movie that I do recommend to people, but at the same time, that is the thing is with the podcast, we're obligated to actually watch the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I
And
feel
we
like
don't.
with The Nightingale, that's not a movie I want to force on anyone
Well, thank you, I guess.
because yeah, that's like one of those movies where it's just I was almost in tears.
Hmm.
Like it had such a strong reaction to me, but the thing is, I finished it because I wanted to, not because I had to. And so that's why, like, if you did want to watch it, I'll just be like, yeah, go check it out. Not gonna make you do it for the podcast because that's kind of I feel like that's crappy.
Maybe.
But this is something I definitely felt like this would. I feel like this is an interesting movie. It's accessible. It's not really necessarily hard to watch, and also I feel like it's something that is polarizing and could make it for an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
So,
Well, now it's my
and
turn to
also this
recommend something to you.
wait. Before you do that, there's actually one last thing I'd like to mention.
Okay.
Uh, I haven't seen this movie, but spoilers to Goodnight Mommy.
I looked at the
One
plot
of the
description beforehand.
of Goodnight Mommy. Okay,
Yeah.
this is for the audience, but the thing is, there were apparently like some critics saying that Goodnight Mommy and The Lodge, especially like in terms of the climax, is extremely similar.
I feel like that too. Because, okay.
I see it, and I also don't see it because I mean, yes, it is psychological and shit, but I feel like the approach taken here was way different. And I know this, but yeah, I do recommend this. But if you want to see a movie that is actually like not necessarily as polarizing, just watch Hereditary. I feel like they're going for very different things, but I feel like Hereditary is a much better movie overall with a twist that actually makes sense on a second watch. Yeah, let's do recommendation. Okay, so
Okay. I took the weirdest movies and stuff that I took, like from my recommendations, and put it here, okay?
uh huh.
So, how you're gonna decide this is I'm gonna name. I looked these up, on Letterboxd, and saw what notable movies or TV shows are better and worse than this movie. Okay.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
So let's just say, for example, okay, movie
Yeah.
A is better than Villains, but worse than Monos. Something like that.
Okay.
That's not the real one, but okay.
I know, just as an example.
Right. Option
Okay.
A, it's better than Beyond the Black Rainbow, but worse than Megamind.
Okay.
Movie B is better than Mulholland Drive, but worse than Solaris.
Solaris.
Solaris, yeah.
So the Tarkovsky version?
Yes.
Okay.
Movie 3 is better than 12 Angry Men, but worse than the HBO show Chernobyl.
Okay.
And movie D is better than Metropolis, but worse than Once Upon a Time in America.
Wow, those last three must be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say the last three again?
Okay. Better than Mulholland Drive, worse than Solaris. Solaris is movie B.
Okay.
C is better than 12 Angry Men, but worse than Chernobyl.
Okay.
And D is better than Metropolis, but worse than Once Upon a Time in America.
I think I'm gonna go B, just because Lynch and Tarkovsky.
Goodness.
What?
You're choosing B?
Yes.
So the one
why?
that's better than Mulholland Drive and worse than Solaris?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
What is it?
I didn't expect this one. This came out
Why?
left field.
Which one did you expect? Before you say it, which one did you expect me to say?
Honestly, I was hoping for C or D, but that can come later. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So this one is a 2018, not quite a movie.
What do you mean?
It is a stage musical called The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, directed by Nick Lang. So it is a YouTube, you can find it on YouTube. It's a stage musical.
What's it called?
The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals.
Okay.
So
I mean, it is feature length.
It is feature length. That's why I chose it. I wouldn't have chosen it if it was like whatever. But it's gonna be a little weird. I'll say the plot really quick.
Okay.
Everything in Hatchetfield seemed normal until people began singing. Then they began dancing. And now the musical pandemic is sweeping the entire city. It's up to Paul, an average guy who doesn't like musicals, and his friends to stop this musical apocalypse and fight for humanity's future.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
Yes. And this is the one review that said this is ironically the only thing getting me through this pandemic, with a 9 out of 10.
Interesting. I'll check it out. I mean, I kind of have to, but
You have to. But guess what time it is now?
time for school.
Yes. But do you know what kind of school?
Art school.
3, 2, 1. Pilots. You didn't say it. You didn't say it.
I said it.
All right.
I said it.
Da da da. Pilot school. All right. 3 clicks of the wheel, and we're gonna see what show we have to watch. Okay?
Did you say 3 clicks of the wheel?
Yes.
Oh, it's an online. Okay. Sorry.
It's a wheel decide thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's an online wheel, so I was just like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be spin? But whatever.
So we're not watching Succession.
What? Okay.
We're not watching No Guns, No Life. But we
I can live with that.
are going to be watching The Last Man on Earth.
Okay.
The
Honestly,
FX,
for a second, I thought you were what?
It's an FX show produced
Okay.
by Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Wait, it
Starring
is on FX?
Yeah.
I thought it was
no,
TBS.
No, it's a Fox. It's a Fox show.
Oh, Fox. Okay, whatever. Same thing.
Starring Will Forte and Kristen Shaw.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know why for a second I thought you were going to say The Wire or The Sopranos or something, but okay.
You know what's really funny?
What?
The placement of The Last Man on Earth is right next to Succession, and I thought I was going to land on it again.
Oh. Okay.
Well, so it's another comedy, I guess. But
yeah,
the first
what is it
episode,
with comedies?
I don't know. I guess they're funny that way. Ooh.
I mean, not 30 Rock.
Oh.
Did I say that?
Did I just say that? That's a new catchphrase.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot funnier when you say it, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, tune in next week on CineBRUH. We'll be talking about The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals and The Last Man on Earth.
The Last Man on Earth. Wow, okay, both tongue twisters.
Two men. Man. What are we going to do about this?
Dude.
Well, time to say sayonara.
Men rule the world.
Brush your teeth and man up.
That's sexist. To women.
What was the other option?
I don't know, are there like 25 genders now?
Oh no, I'm not a physician.
Apparently. Did you say what is physics and gender? Like, where's the correlation between physics and gender?
I don't understand either of them.
Oh. Okay. I don't see either of them.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Well, good episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to edit because you cursed a billion times.